beautiful people. I want to bring you guys a special message from a special place to me, my beautiful Amazon, my motherland. Recently we have been talking a lot about divine power, and I know a lot of people have questions in regards to what it could possibly be. I tried putting something together for at least what it means to me, and I hope this can help shed some light onto you. I'm just going to go ahead and read what I wrote, and then I also try to translate it to Portuguese for my Brazilian people. But where is this divine power? Unfortunately, there's no light switch or map available because all the pieces to the puzzle are within you. You already hold it in your hand, but at the moment you choose not to be aware of it. Never mind, flick it. It's not so ridiculous that we would assume that what we desire the most should be found externally, since most of the things we need, such as air, water, food, heat, and shelter are. So we assume that this applies to everything else we need in life too. The need for external components and attachments such as money, material possessions, and even love are all demands of a part of the human mind called the ego. But when people talk about the ego, they mostly focus on the behavioral traits of it. The ego is a temporary expression of overinflated self-confidence, a demonstration of conceit, selfishness, and self-importance. The ego is actually much more than just a small band of negative characteristics. Having said that, no part of it can be viewed under any positive light or even be considered an advantage to human existence. The ego is the little part of our psychological makeup that is actually considered to be insane. Nobody's free of it, not even the most enlightened being in the world. We all have different levels, strengths of it, that present themselves in many different ways, such as in our character traits and personality. The important thing for you to know is that the ego can never, ever, and will never be satisfied and can only be sedated temporarily. It's like a child at a chocolate factory. It will always want more, no matter how much it gets. Your ego is your biggest and true enemy. This is what becomes detrimental to your well-being, causing unhappiness, pain, and misery in many areas of your life. These feelings are generated by the thinking mind when it doesn't get what it wants, but also rather ironically by giving it what it wants. Your ego only experiences peace and desire for a tiny fraction of time, normally immediately after you give it what it wants. For a brief moment, giving you momentary peace, pleasure, satisfaction, until it starts wearing off, and once again your ego starts hurting you, becoming 10 times stronger and demanding more of what you gave it before, and it won't accept anything less. Therefore, it starts again sending you massive pain and hundreds of different negative emotions until it gets what it wants and desires. To use an example of this reason, this is why 95% of diets fail. Trying to arm wrestle the ego in your mind with a technique called willpower is like trying to move a mountain with a spoon. To be honest, no one has ever truly achieved anything just with willpower. They only believe they did. Willpower is absolutely useless when trying to overcome your ego. Your ego has you outgunned in every level possible and has the power and the ability to cause you pain way beyond your worst nightmares, and it isn't afraid to use it. The only way to overcome the discontent of the ego is by harnessing and embracing the divine power of the subconscious mind. At this level of your being, you are quite capable of limitless joy. Anything and everything is possible without anything external to make it possible. From contentment to perfection and everything in between, your conscious mind has the power to deliver it to you by unlocking your subconscious. What you believe about yourself in this state dictates what happens in your life. If at your unconscious level you no longer believe you are a smoker, then you will stop smoking. There's absolutely nothing you can't do once you embrace it. There's absolutely nothing or anything that your ego can do that will stop you from reaching your goal. Delivery is as certain as night follows days. Up until this point, we've been using the word subconscious, but to make it simple, it really is the word so. You just have to believe it exists in the first place. Virtually everybody accepts the concept between conscious and subconscious, or your unconscious mind. Hence the reason why I've been using these words. Up until this point, I hope that I have intrigued you enough to continue on listening before I get all spiritual on you. So let me make it very clear that your soul and your subconscious are essentially one and the same. Therefore, what happens to you subconsciously without the interference of your ego or your thinking mind happens with divine power behind it. With divine power, nothing is impossible, and you will have all and anything your soul subconscious desires. By divine power, I am referring to God and the universe, the greater power above all that we can't see, but we can feel. Now let's get ready for all the skeptics and the non-believers that are going to start bombarding us with negative comments, such as if I have such power, why am I not rich? Why are people suffering in the world? Why do we have hunger? Why do we have all of these horrible things happening around the world? Why do people die to diseases? But this will be a conversation for us to discuss another time. Let's focus on what we're talking about now. Because the deeper answer to all of these questions you will discover as we grow together and you decide to continue on your journey of embracing the divine power within you. But I know that many of you still don't have an understanding of that. That's why I am here for you, to try to explain to you the best way possible. I would ask for you to accept the fact that it's only your ego telling you that you need more money and all of these external material things. That being said, nobody needs to be sick or that we can't fix the problems that are in the world. Anything that has a solution in the future is pure speculation of your conscious mind. One of the specific requirements of reaching true happiness and freedom is that your soul subconscious doesn't desire anything. It needs nothing. It already knows what will make you happy. I'm sure by this point your ego is raging with authority and saying how crazy I am for believing and even trying to share these things with you. But to end this off in a way that it's easy for us to understand in our logical conscious mind, I'm going to use something that we all are familiar with and have seen many times before. The most rich and famous people in the world are usually unhappy, no matter how much they have. All I ask is that you keep an open mind and heart and hope that I am able to help you understand at least a little bit and maybe assist you in improving your life by embracing your divine power. I truly appreciate all of you taking the time to listen to me and to be part of this. And I wish you and your loved ones and those around you love, many, many blessings. Remember, the divine power is within you and we are one. I am you, you are me, we are God, we are all of this and everything around us. You can't change the entire world, but your world is what's around you. And you have the ability to change that and make that better, not just for yourself, but for everybody else.